Hey guys, welcome back to another video in the 5 million gold from scratch series, where I go over everything that I have done in the past week to make gold on my way to the Brutosuar mount. I have made an absolute ton of investments this week on crafting materials for the future being just stockpiled in my guild bank and banks, so we are going to be starting out this week pretty low on the gold, but I'm confident we will at least break even this week. And still have all that mass stockpile of gathering materials. So I think I'm pretty much done investing. This might be the last week where I spend, well, you'll see here in a second, but spend an absolute huge amount of gold on materials. I'm pretty sure I'm stocked up for the rest of the series, and I don't need to buy any more because I just bought that many materials. So let's go over how much exactly I spent this week. That way at the end of the video we can see if we broke even or made a profit even with all these investments. And I'm just more excited for the future because now I'm done with investing and I can just make profit because I'm already stocked up with all the gold I would be spending. However, last video we ended off at 2,066,000 gold. So we did dip a little lower than we were the video before that. I think we were at a negative 500k. That is because I bought a second account to dip my toes into dual boxing, which I will be talking about at the end of the video. I will not be talking about that right now. So if you are interested from the last video in all that multi-boxing stuff, make sure to stay tuned for the entire video, and I'll be going over that towards the end. But this week we are starting out at 794,000 gold, which means I spent just under 1.3 million gold this week. Now don't worry, it was not on any more multi-boxing accounts, it was spent purely on crafting materials. Like I said, I just want to be fully stockpiled from now until we get the Brutosaur. I'm tired of spending gold, I just want to make profit, and get the Brutosaur as fast as possible. So let's go ahead and find out how much gold I have earned this week. Let's see if I broke even or made gold. This is my gathering character, my dual gathering druid. So let's see how much gold I have earned from purely gathering this week. This week is going to be a bit more in terms of what I sold through gathering because I have been doing a bit of dual boxing and that is mostly done through gathering. So yeah, I did a lot of gathering this week compared to usual. Like almost twice, maybe 3 times as much gathering as usual. But either way, let's see how much gold. 140,000 gold this week on my dual gatherer. Let's see exactly how I made that gold, because that is a lot of gold. I think last week it was about 100k, maybe a little bit less, but that's actually about double what I usually get on my gatherer. I usually get about between 60 to 100k on my my gatherer, but once again a bit more this week gathering time. So let's see, we got some fellwort here. This is a world quest in Legion. If you have herbalism, you can also do it as a miner or a skinner. They just have different materials. You know, mining is infernal brimstone and skinning is fell hide. These on my server have been dipping in price. I've been mentioning them a lot, and I think a few people that watch these videos do play on my server, so there's a bit more competition than what I'm used to when it comes to like fellwort, fellhide, and infernal brimstone, but they are still pretty profitable. It's about 1 to 3k profit every 2 days, and that is using 1 dual gatherer and then 1 skinner, and that is how much I make. It takes 5 minutes to use your Dalaran Hearthstone and then fly to the zone that has the material you want. It's marked on the map. It is just easy free gold every 2 days on your gathering tunes. Moving on, we have Ghost Iron Ore, 1.6k for just under 10k gold. That is a lot of Ghost Iron Ore for only about 10k, so Ghost Iron Ore doesn't go for a lot on my server, but like I was mentioning, I am testing out dual boxing right now, which means I'm just going out and gathering everything I can, seeing the spots I like versus the spots I don't like, seeing the materials I like versus the materials I don't like, and you know, I'm just going out and spreading myself between all the herbs and ores out there in the game throughout all the expansions. This is all from this one character, don't worry. I did mention multi-boxing, but I am keeping their gold separate. If I gather something on the alt account, I keep it and sell it on the alt account. This is all from this one toon, this one druid right here. So don't worry if you're not into multi-boxing and you want to see just a single character's progress. That is what this is. I just want to make sure that's clear, just in case anyone was wondering. So yeah, this is all from this one character. This is probably about 2 to 3 hours of ghost iron ore gathering. I think I'm doing about 700 to 900 ore an hour. So yeah, ghost iron ore, it's not very profitable, but I was just testing it out. If you like these numbers, maybe you can go out and do it on your own. But to me, 1.6k of an item is not worth 10k gold. I need more than that, personally. So moving on, we have Fellhide, like I was mentioning. And then Battle Scarred Augment Runes. I just get these from doing the mission tables in BFA, so it's nothing really too special to go over. But they are quite nice whenever you get them. I think these are the highest valued mission you can get, so always prioritize these ones. I guess it depends on server, but for me, the Pet Charm ones are also nice too. But White Trillium Ore right here, got 32 for 2.7k. That was just while I was out gathering a Ghost Iron, so it's a little bit extra profit. I like seeing these numbers more right here. Look, 32 for 2.7k. These are numbers I like to see, personally, on a medium pop server. We have Spirits of Harmony, 70 for 4k. I think these are just a flip. It was a small flip, obviously, 4k gold. I probably spent 2k gold, so it was probably double profit. Because due to, there was this really popular Quillen stone farm for a while. I think it was about like 3 weeks, maybe a month, where it was like super popular. I tried it out for a little bit, but I didn't do too much of it. By the time I even tried it out, it got nerfed the next day, actually, so I didn't even get to really try it out. But I did take advantage of the prices on my server, but since I'm on a medium pop, there's not like thousands and thousands and thousands of spirits being listed, so I did what I could, 70 for 4k. It was a nice little flip. So Fell Slate right here, I was just out, like I was mentioning, testing all the different farms. I didn't actually go to farm Fell Slate. I went to farm Aetherol and Foxflower in Legion, because those herbs are very pricey on my server and very good gold per hour right now. And Fell Slate just comes with doing that. Since I'm doing this on a dual gatherer, mining nodes are between the herbing nodes. So it seems like the ores are selling for a bit less, so 1,000 for only 4k gold, that's not a lot. But like I was mentioning, that wasn't really what I was out there going for. It's just extra, to be honest. You do spend time, gathering the node, but usually it's beneficial either way, because you're really just waiting for the herbalism nodes to respawn. So moving up, these are numbers that I am more accustomed to and I love. Right here, 252 Heart Blossom for just under 16,000 gold. These are nice numbers, and this is pretty much how all Kata herbs go for on my server, and this is why I recommend them every single week, because they are profitable. They make me between 30 to 40k an hour on a single tune. So you best believe that I was out there all week doing a lot of Kata herb farming on my dual boxing tunes right now. Because, yeah, I want to get a lot of stock of Kata herbs and then just not worry about them for a while. So I was out there doing a bit more in Kata. They're my best herbs. Titanium bars. I'm starting to do some making bars with the materials that I'm gathering. Instead of just selling the ores, it's actually way more profitable, especially on a medium pop server, to make the bars. They are so profitable. Maybe we can take a look here for a second and see some of the ones that I'm talking about. If we come down here, I have, so hardened adamantium, you can see this, a single one of these profits for 1.2k on my server. Titanium, I just sold that in the mailbox. These are profiting 1.8k each on my server. So you can see right here, Fell Steel profiting 600 gold per bar. So the profits are quite nice. Even these ones for like Fell Iron, 95 gold profit per Fell Iron. It only takes 2 to make it into a bar. So it's like a good idea to just make the bar. Have a stock of the bars on the AH, and then have a stock of the it made me scroll all the way to the top. And then have a stock of the ores. So make the bars first, and then if those aren't selling, start selling the ores instead. That's what I've been doing, and it seems to work out. Moving on, we got Dream Leaf. This is not a very profitable herb on my server, and I found that out. I did go out to farm it though, so we got, once again, about 1,100 for 10k, still twice as much as the Fell Slate, all things considered. Right here, Stormvines, 228 for 5.1k gold. Stormvine is probably the worst Kata herb on everybody's server, so you just get it while you do Ashar's Veil, mostly. It's like, it's just extra. No one ever goes out to farm Stormvine, I don't think. So it's not bad that this Kata herb is, only 5k for 200 of them. Right, Aetherol, 200 for 2.4k. Like I was mentioning, I was going out and farming those. so not a lot sold. I think I gathered 1.4k on a single tune in an hour, so that's only a small portion of what I gathered for the hour. Fell iron ore, 250 for 6.5k. Those are, that's a good ratio in my opinion. Fell iron ore I think is about 70 gold each on my server, so check your server, see if the prices have been rising. I've heard from a few people that fell iron ore is rising on the server. I don't know why that would be unison across all the servers, but it does seem to be a trend right now. Right here, volatile earth, 390 for 6.5k gold. I just get these while gathering, like I said. These are just like a byproduct. These cerealine seeds, a byproduct of doing other things. I don't really go out and gather these things, they're just extra. Xenanthid, 100 for 4.8k gold. If I ever get into more than 2 accounts, I will definitely be pretty much spending all my time doing Xenanthid, but when it comes to only dual boxing, you don't really have to invest all your time into Xenanthid. It's not the best gold per hour, at least on my server. It's about 20k gold per hour per character, so doing Xenanthid on 2 tunes is only 40k an hour. It's not the best, but if you had like 5 to 8 characters that you're all multi-boxing at once, you definitely want to just spend all your time doing Xenanthid, because that is the highest selling herb, and you will be making between like 1 to 200k an hour anyways, and you just want to get rid of all that stock. And Xenanthid would be the best item to, you know, sell as much as you can. So when it comes to dual boxing, it's not as profitable. Pyrium bars, 40 for 15k. That's a very nice profit. Elemental fluxes, these you buy from the vendor. And I sold 20 of them for just under 4k gold. I think 20 of them cost 2 gold to buy from the vendor. I could be wrong on that. It could be 6 gold. Either way, doesn't really matter. It's a lot of profit. So just try out, you know, go and buy things from vendors and just try them. It's not a lot of gold to invest. If they fail and they never sell, you know, they'll sell eventually. It could be a month from now. It could be 2 months from now, but you'll make your gold eventually. More Pyrium bars, 9 for 3.3k. Pyrium bars are doing quite well. I sold a Reigns of the Thundering Ruby Cloud Serpent. I got some sky shards when I was doing that farm that I was talking about, the Quillen farm, and I got the last 3 that I needed with a little bit of time that I spent on that farm, because I had 7 sky shards for like the past 10 years whenever MOP came out. So I finished it and I sold it. Due to that farm though, it was very cheap. I think I sold it for 13k gold, so yeah. But I did eventually get an Alani, and then I sold it. I didn't learn it, because right now I'm all about making gold. I'm not about personal progress. Center Bloom, 82 for 1.3k gold. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Go out and farm Kata herbs. Essences of Air. I was talking about these a few weeks ago. 21 for 8k gold. You go to Silithus and the old version of Silithus. You go to the top left and you farm Essences of Air by killing all the air elementals. Don't bother with the earth ones, at least in my opinion. And yeah, only 21 essences sold for 8k. It did take a month to sell these, but it was a lot of profit when they eventually sold. And then finally, 2 Fell Steel bars for 1k gold, like I was mentioning, just kind of testing out making bars instead of just selling the ores straight up, and it has been working for me. It's just more profit than selling the ores, so there's no reason not to do it. And yeah, all that totals up to 140,000 gold. I have a lot more materials on the AH, and I'm very happy with where my kind of inventory is right now on the Gatherer, because I spread myself across all the herbs and ores in the entire game, and I just have everything up on the auction house right now, and it feels very good. And I have it on 2 accounts. You know, I have all the ores and herbs up on the auction house on 2 accounts. It feels so good. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the 140k this week on the dual gatherer. I'm just going to click sales. I don't want to click that basic seed pack, but let's collect up this 140k. That was quite a bit to go over, but like I was mentioning, I did do more than usual gathering this week, so there was more than usual to talk about. And it does look like the mailbox is going very, very slow right now. It's doing 1 at a time instead of speeding through this, and it's lagging my game, so I am just going to see you guys on the next character. So let's move on and see how much gold my enchanter has made this week, and I have made just under 60,000 gold this week through enchanting alone. It's about half, maybe a little bit less than half than last week, but still pretty sizable for a single profession for a week, in my opinion, on a medium pop server. First things first, we have all the BFA weapon enchants. I do those, and I'm selling them between 1 to 3k gold each, so those are very profitable for me. Eternal Fires, I'm still selling these. Anytime I see frost or frozen orbs on the auction house for less then the vendor buy price, then I just buy them and then turn them into Eternal Fires, and that usually means I'm spending 30 gold and turning it into 230 gold per Eternal Fire. So it is very profitable for me. It doesn't happen in high volumes. As you can see, I'm only selling 7 right here, but it does happen often enough to where it's actually making me quite a bit of profit recently. Again, I do all the BFA weapon enchants. I also do all the ring enchants. So selling those again for between 1 to 3k each right now on my server. So we got a bunch of those. And then enchant next. These are from Legion. You can get these just by doing Legion questing, enchanting questing. And it takes like maybe 10 minutes to do it. And you get crafts that make you like just insane profits. This is a bit on the lower side. Usually my Legion enchants go for like 6 to 15k. This one right here, the Mark of the Claw, is going for 4k right now. I don't know if it's a not as popular version of the enchant next, but you know, it is still selling for a lot more than the BFA enchants, I can tell you that. And the reason why these sell so well for necklaces is because they go onto heirlooms and they help a ton with people who want to power level and speed level as fast as they can, you know, min-max their leveling process. So that's why they go for so much gold. So definitely, if you have enchanting, you need to have Legion enchanting as well, not just BFA. You need both because, I mean, for me, Legion makes more profit than BFA. I'm going to be straight up. More Eternal Fires, as you can see, like I was mentioning, they just sell throughout the week in little bits, so it'll all add up. By the time we get the Brutosaur, I'll probably make like 100k from Eternal Fire flipping. Like to be honest, over time it adds up. That's why I recommend doing it, even if it's not for a ton in one sitting. More Legion enchants. We got Legion Skinning. Sold one of those for 1.4k. I probably spent, let's see, it's probably 10 gold per arcana. So I spent 500 gold and I made 1.2k in profit. Like it's just easy gold. Like it's free gold. That's how I call it, because it takes 2 seconds to make it and you make 1.2k. That's free gold. So moving on, we have just a bunch more of the same stuff, a bigger stack right here. So I sold a decent amount of Rings of Accord Haste and Versatility all at once. So, you know, these are worth 5.3k for 4 of those, and then 8.4k for 8 of those. So, like I was mentioning, between 1 to 3k each. And yeah, it's all consistent up and down. So, let's collect up to 60k. I'm going to do that on my own since the mailbox is being so slow right now. And I'll just see you guys on the next character. Alright, so moving over to my blacksmith. My blacksmith has earned, wow, I didn't even check this before I recorded this, but 216,000 gold this week. This might be the most profitable week for my blacksmith ever. I don't quite remember. There might have been one week where it was a bit more than this, but this is at the top of how much gold I've earned in a single week on the blacksmith. So yeah, if you can just see the mailbox though, you can see why. Just so many people needed uncanny gear this week apparently, and I just sold so much uncanny gear as I scroll up. I'll talk about this stuff in a second here, but I'm just trying to show you why I made this much of gold, I guess, is just everyone needed every single type of uncanny gear from a blacksmith. Every weapon, every piece of plate armor, everything sold. So yeah, I'm selling just uncanny gear. I make every single piece through blacksmithing, all the armors, all the weapons, and those are making me a ton of gold still. It's been about 2 months, I think, since patch 8.3, maybe a little bit less than 2 months, but just about. And still to this day, I'm still selling about, 1 to 200k a week in pretty much just uncanny gear. It's very, very nice. We have right here some monoharn stirrups add to that pile, right? 8 of them for 3.8k, so those are still profitable as well. I also sell the monohardened pieces for basically transmog. These are the base BFA items that you get at level 1 blacksmithing, just the standard stuff. Green, I level 225. It takes 10 monolite ore, and look at that, 1.8k profit. Guess what? I made 1.8k profit off of 10 monolite ore. So that's why you should just check everything. Just do everything. That's what I always recommend. Is it doesn't really matter if you think it's not going to sell, because honestly, it probably will. Everything sells in WoW for some reason, even on medium pop servers like my own, and it's just about testing what sells the most and what sells to your standards. I did level up, so I guess I'll go over this stuff since pretty much everything's, you know, uncanny. Like, just, it's all uncanny. I sell them for thousands and thousands of gold each. But I am selling a bit of older stuff. I did decide to start leveling up all of the blacksmithing across all the expansions. So, you know, Vanilla, BC, Wrath, Kata. So that's what I spent this week doing on the blacksmith, just leveling up all the previous expansion you know, levels, and then going out and getting all the easy to get recipes, because I'm just trying to expand my markets right now, and I pretty much own all the BFA markets on my server. I make, you know, over 1 million gold every single week through BFA crafts across all the professions on my server, so I need to do more stuff. I know I'm kind of already making the max amount I can through BFA stuff, so I'm trying to go out and do all the older expansion stuff, and, you know, you just gotta make a ton of stuff, so I had to, you know, I cannot fit all this stuff in my bank. I might just disenchant it, but I'm saving it. This is all the stuff that I crafted to just level up all the previous expansions, so that's why that's all in there. And then you're gonna see a few things selling for, you know, small amounts of gold. It's pretty much just all the stuff that I made for leveling up all the older expansion blacksmithing levels. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that a little bit. I'm trying to expand my markets. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say here. I'm not trying to just explain why these are my mailbox. I'm trying to explain that I'm trying to expand the markets. We might see some higher profiting stuff in the future. You know, some of the Titan Steel stuff on my server sells for like 30k profit per transmog. So maybe, or hopefully, we'll sell a few of those and make even more gold next week. But 216k on the blacksmith. That is up there in terms of how much I've ever made on a blacksmith in a week. So yeah, we're gonna collect up all this gold, and I will see you guys on the next character. Moving over to my leatherworker. My leatherworker has pulled in 143, just about 144k. Man, I guess I've been spending too much time gathering. I have not been paying attention to my crafters. This is a huge week again for the leatherworker too, in terms of like compared to the previous weeks. And I have not been paying attention to that. Let's see what I have actually sold and made that much gold with. So it looks like a bunch of uncanny gear. So it seems like when uncanny gear actually sells, it sells a ton. But some weeks it just doesn't sell, and that's sad those weeks. But this week it sold, and I made a very exciting 144k. Besides uncanny gear though, cause I make just, you know, again, everything. I make all the leather pieces, I make every single mail piece, I make every single weapon. It's kind of just repeating myself every profession. But some of the other things that I sold is coarse leather bardings. You know, 10 of these for 1.4k gold. That's reasonable for me. Comfortable rider's barding, 3.8k for one of them. These I'm pretty much selling one a day. Oh, yep, right here. As we go up, you'll see I'm pretty much selling one of these a day. I don't know why it's consistently one a day on my server, but it is one a day. I do notice that I'm always having to recraft one every day. Drums of Fury, 55 of these for 3.6k gold. I spend 5 gold each to craft, because that's just how cheap raw beast hide is on my server. So you can see how much profit. I think I'm making a 10x profit about. When it comes to the Drums of Fury, it's between like 6 times to 10 times profit depending on the day. You know, some days it's going for 60 gold each on my server, some days they're going for 100 gold each on my server, so it depends on the day. But either way, it's a lot of profit, and I wish I could sell more each week, because I just want to see how far it can go with that stuff. The bows are selling on my server, specifically uncanny bows, still 12k each, so those haven't dipped too much. When it comes to all the uncanny gear, a lot of it has dipped down since the first few weeks, but weapons, especially two-hand weapons, seem to still be strong when it comes to how much gold you're earning per. And then moving up, dredged leather bladders, that's a huge chunk right here. 20 of those for 16k. Usually I don't see chunks like this on my leatherworker, because leatherworking isn't as profitable as other professions on my server. But that just means I probably need to make more. That way, if they ever do get bought out again, I make even more, because I only make 20 at a time, and it looks like maybe someone tried to reset the prices, I would assume, so that's why they would all get bought out at once. So if I make 40 and then someone's trying to reset the prices, I'll make 30k next time. So maybe I'll try to push that a little bit. We'll see how much people are comfortable with buying out when it comes to resetting the markets. Let's see, anything else really of notes? It doesn't really look like it. It's all pretty much the same thing every single day. You know, I'm selling a comfortable rider's barding every day, like I was mentioning. Seems like I'm selling uncanny gear every day, and then drums of fury every day. So those are the 3 things that I would look out for on your server as well if you haven't checked them out yet. Obviously, there's other things too from previous expansions that I'm not making through leatherworking. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a leatherworking mount, or maybe even 2. I could be making those, I'm not. And those are probably profitable, since usually all mounts are very, very, very profitable. And then there's, you know, other things that I could be making, and I just am not. But the 3 things that I do make are Drums of Fury, Comfortable Riders Bardings, and Uncanny Gear this week. So taking a look at my tailor has earned 50,000 gold for the week. Actually, more. I have 179 males that I need to collect, so there are 79 that we can't see right now, but at least for the first 100, we have 50k. And it's mostly because of deep sea bags. Like, I post 50 a day. I don't sell it 50 every single day, but I sell between 10 to 50 a day, so that takes a lot of space in the mailbox. And yeah, we don't get to see it all at once, but I will collect this, and then we'll get to see the last 79 right after. But let's go over the first 100. We have, again, just a bunch of deep sea bags mostly. That's like pretty much the only thing my tailor sells at this point. But also some uncanny gear. Finally getting rid of some uncanny cloth gear, which is great because, well, it doesn't really sell that well on my server. Probably about, it's like every 2 weeks I get lucky and I sell some one day. It's like I barely sell any cloth at all. So I'm always happy to see some uncanny cloth gear being sold. These aren't really worth talking about, but I did want to mention that I am changing the way that I am doing my crafting operations. I can just show you guys really quick. So if we come over to operations and then crafting, let's go crafting 3 because that's the operation used for tailoring. So for crafting, I am now adding this plus 100 gold to the end. I was only doing the 10% crafting and just basically crafting everything in the game that made a profit. But at this point, since I have all the professions maxed out and I'm just making so much items between all the professions, it takes so many hours to do that. And I was just kind of getting tired of spending 30 minutes on crafting items that are only going to make like a gold each profit. So the way that I'm doing it now is I want to make at least 100 gold profit per item and not really waste my time with these items anymore. They are profitable, and if you're just starting out, it was definitely a huge boost to my gold to make everything that is profitable and not target specific items. But now that I am near, like, you know, nearly 3 million gold, spending hours every day already crafting, I did want to cut back on that crafting time a little bit to make sure that I am able to do it every single day. And yeah, I will no longer be crafting small profits like these. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure people knew that in case you are following the series, you know, and following along exactly what I'm doing. That is now what I am doing. I bought a bunch of tight spray linen, like I was mentioning at the very beginning of the video. I made a lot of investments this week just to keep myself afloat for the rest of the series, and I try to buy as much tight spray linen as I thought I would need. I've already used probably 20k of it, and I have 28k left. So yeah, I spent a lot of gold on tight spray linen, and then when we get over to the alchemist, I'll show you the xenanthid as well. Like I was mentioning at the beginning of the video, I spent 1 million gold. What was it, 1.3 million gold this week? And yeah, I'm very invested right now in items and not liquid gold. But I mean, to be honest, when it comes to tailoring, I'm pretty much just selling bags. Yeah, pretty much it's just all deep sea bags. And things that I will no longer be crafting. Like all this, see all this right here? I will no longer be crafting any of this because none of this makes over 100 gold. So not even worth talking about because I'm not even making that stuff anymore. So yeah, so 50k for the first one. Let's collect this all up. Alright, so the mailbox is refreshed. It says 86 mails because I didn't collect the items that I purchased, you know, my buys. I've only collected the sales. So that's why there's, you know, 9 more because there's 9 things of tight spray linen right here, just in case anyone was wondering. But moving down, we have another 51.7k to collect. So I actually made over 100k on my tailor this week. I didn't even know that because the mailbox was so split up from all the bags. So I'm pretty sure I just made 100k almost exclusively through deep sea bags. I'm telling you guys, at least on my server, even though they're only 100 to 200 gold profit per deep sea bags, you sell so many. Like I was saying, I sell between 10 to 50 a day. So that's why it just all adds up. Every single time you sell one, you're making 200 gold, 200 gold, 200 gold. So yeah, it definitely all adds up, even if it's only like 1 to 200 gold profit per. So definitely, like, just do deep sea bags if they make a profit on your server. Make sure they make a profit first. But if they do, just make them, because they have such a high sell rate that it will add up in the end. So yeah, other things that, again, just a few pieces of uncanny cloth gear. And I have more tight spray linen that I bought down here too. So I actually have 34k. Look at that. It bounced up. I actually have 34k tight spray linen. It wasn't showing it all because of the mailbox. So yeah, and I already, like I was mentioning, I already used about 20k. So I bought about 50k tight spray linen, and I'm working my way through that. Hopefully it's enough for the rest of the series, because I don't really want to buy anymore. Even though tight spray linen is pretty cheap. It's even less than 2 gold on my server, I think. So I can just craft tight spray linen pants and vendor them for a profit if I wanted to, but that would take so much time. I'm probably not going to do that. I'm probably just going to use them for expulsum, and that's it. And yeah, it's like I was mentioning, like, look at these big strings of deep sea bags. This was probably 50 in one day. Maybe not 50. Maybe this was like 20 or 30 right here. I don't want to count that. But yeah, like I was mentioning, just deep sea bags and uncanny gear. Honestly, I didn't even need to go over the second mailbox. It was the exact same as the first mailbox. But I did want to show you guys the 51k, so in total about 103k I think it was on the tailor for the week, which is a great. A tailor making 100k on my server is insane to me, because it's pretty much nothing sells except for the bags apparently. So looking at my alchemist has pulled in the usual amazing 370,000 gold for the week. My alchemist just always kills it every week. And so let's go over some of the things that my alchemist has sold. This is also an engineer. So as you can see right here, I sold a notorious discombobulator. So it seems like the maces are the only things that sell through engineering with BFA. So that is, you know, the discombobulator and the storms. I forget what it's called. It's storm something. But there's only 2 maces you can make with engineering. Definitely make the uncanny versions, not notorious. I just had to make notorious to level up engineering. But you definitely want to make the uncanny versions of the 2 maces. And that's pretty much the only thing that I make any gold from with engineering. So I don't know if I would recommend engineering, but if you do have it, just make the maces. Pretty much. There might be other recipes out there that I don't have that might be worth it. And I know obviously about the sky golem and all the mounts, but I'm just too lazy to get into mounts right now. I have so much other things that I'm crafting, even though mounts are so profitable. So profitable. But the rest of the things that I have sold is pretty much all alchemy, like usual. Let's go over some big stacks. So right here, here's a 10k stack. So Greater Flask of the Undertow, 13 for 10k right there. Any other big stacks? So more Undertows. It seems like Flask of the Undertow was a little bit more popular this week for me, rather than the Currents one. The Currents is usually the best selling item for me. Abyssal Healing Potions, 348 for 21,500 gold. Definitely, I mean, everyone knows to make Abyssal Healing Potions if you have Alchemy. It's basically like free gold, because it doesn't require pretty much anything besides Xanthid. So if the potion sells for more than the Xanthid, you're basically just flipping Xanthid at that point, you know? It's like the most basic of basic potions you can make when it comes to Alchemy. So definitely Abyssal Healing Potions, you know, they kill it every week. Here's some more Xanthid. So let's just see how much Xanthid I have now. So I have 24,500 Xanthid stored right now. Last week, when I spent 560k, I had 13,000. So I bought another 12,000 Xanthid, which was another 600k gold. So, yeah, I have a bunch, but I'm stocked up. I feel like I'm fully stocked up. So, ooh, look at this. Whoa. What is this? Is this correct? 54 potions of unbridled fury for 44k? Was I selling potions for almost 1,000 gold each? Wow. Wow. Okay, so right here, 54 potions of unbridled fury for 44k. That's crazy. Superior battle potions of strength 70 for 15. 200 Lightfoot potions. I need to make more apparently, because I only make 200 at a time. I should probably make like 600 Lightfoot potions, along with the Unbridled Furies and the Abyssal Healing Potions, because that's how much I do for those. And it seems like Lightfoot potions are kind of in that same vein of Abyssal Healing Potions. So I'm going to up that crafting operation to 600 a day. But yeah, you can see I sold my full stack of 200 for 13k that day. Vast Horizons, again, apparently Vast Horizons were a lot more common this week. I did level up Cataclysm Engineering because I wanted the Looterang for myself, and apparently I also sold a Looterang for profit to someone else too. So let's see how much I sold that for in terms of profit. So that's from Cataclysm. And then where is a Looterang? So wow, so well, it's 20k profit right now, so obviously that's not true. But basically, what's the crafting cost? The crafting cost is 301 gold. So I made 17.7k because this is actually counting, this is before the auction house cut. So when I sold it, it was for 17.7k profit. So yeah, maybe make Looterangs if you aren't yet. It was just something that I wanted personally. So now I have the recipe and I'm crafting it for other people. And hey, 17k profit is very, very, very good for an item that sells as commonly as the Looterang. So definitely check it out on your server. So I guess that's another thing from engineering that will profit you. But I was talking only about BFA earlier when it comes to like nothing makes profit besides the 2 maces, by the way. I was only talking about BFA. But here we go. Here's some Flasks of the Currents. These are usually my best seller every week. In fact, if I check TSM, the main page, it should tell me that Flask of the Currents is my highest profiting item of all time. If we look here, yep, right here, Greater Flask of the Current. It's the highest earning seller of mine. And then you can see Xanthid is my highest expense too. So here's a little bit of information right here when it comes to my progress so far. So yeah, Greater Flask of the Currents is my highest selling item this entire series. So yeah, definitely check out all the Greater Flasks. Not just Currents, but Currents is the more common one for me. And yeah, apparently I sold 6 organic discombobulation grenades for 2.4k. That seems unusually high, but maybe not. Maybe they just don't sell that often, but they are for that much profit. I'm not sure, because I've never sold these before. That seems kind of high. But either way, 370,000 gold. I don't make less than 300k on this character. Like, I don't think I've ever made less than 300k on this character since patch 8.3. It's insane. I do want to hopefully make 1,000,000 gold on just this character 1 week. Like, I want 1 week to sell, I want to sell like 3,000 Abyssal Healing Potions, 3,000 Unbridled Furies, 1,000 Greater Flask of the Currents, and then maybe I'll make 1,000,000 gold in a week on just this one character. That's my goal before the end of the series. So now let's take a look at what my Inscription/Cook has made for the week, and it is a whopping 222,000, just shy of 223,000 gold for the week. Still, like, I would call cooking the best profession. It makes a little less, well, not a little, it was like 150k less this week, but it makes a bit less than Alchemy, but it is so much easier than Alchemy that more people would be able to profit off of cooking. So I would say cooking is the best profession in BFA, just because of how easy it is to make the profits with it. So I can't recommend it enough. Do cooking, guys, if you haven't yet. It's a third profession. You don't need to drop anything. It's just all extra gold, basically. So definitely hit up cooking if you haven't yet. It took me a while to start doing cooking, and that was months of just not profiting off of cooking, it was a very bad idea because I make so much from it now. But either way, going over what I did sell, we got Highborn Compendium of a Mystical Bulwark. This specific item, the Mystical Bulwark Highborn Compendium, this used to be my highest selling item. You guys know I just showed you on my Alchemist, my TSM, and it said Greater Flask of the Currents. It used to say this item. So I cannot recommend this either enough when it comes to Highborn Compendiums. Make Highborn Compendiums. Obviously double check if they're profitable, but if they are, make them because they sell so fast. I sell between 1 to 5 a day. And make all the versions. Make the tank, healing, and DPS. Don't think that tanks don't buy them. Don't think that healers don't buy them. They all buy trinkets because they're very good trinkets. So as you can see right here, more 14.5k for a Mystical Bulwark, so 2k more that day. And then I sold a Swirling Tides that day as well for 7.6k. So I mean, did the sky just change? I don't know if that was my monitor or the game. Did you guys see that? That was weird. But either way, going up more in the list, we have Tomes of the Quiet Mind. These have been making quite a bit of gold for the past 2 or 3 weeks for me. So maybe check them out on your server as well. They used to not sell on my server, so I did kind of forget about them for a while. But past 2 or 3 videos, I remember specifically that these have been making me thousands upon thousands of gold. So Tomes of the Quiet Mind, definitely a recommendation from me. Baked potatoes, these do well every week. This is only 1.7k, but it's only because it's 20 sold. I think I list 200, maybe 300 of these up at a time, because these, kebabs, ghastly goulashes, and one more food. I forget what it is, but or I can't think of it right now. But those 4 foods make me the most gold out of cooking, so those would be the ones to look out for. At least that's how it is for me. War Scrolls, just like Tomes of the Quiet Mind, these did not sell for like months straight, but now I'm selling them consistently every week for thousands and thousands of gold. So I definitely have been making a lot more of those recently. Kebabs, here we go. That was one of the foods I was talking about, 96 for 13k. That's actually a bit lower than usual, if I remember correctly, but still, profit. Good profit. Another Highborn Compendium this day for 10k. Tomes of the Quiet Mind, more of these, 35 for 16k. So, like I was mentioning, these are actually picking up in sell rate on my server. Highborn Compendiums, 4 in a single day, I was mentioning. So this is what, 15. We'll round these all to 15, and then we'll say I made 60k that day off of Highborn Compendiums. One day, 60k, one item. This is what I'm talking about. Make compendiums. I cannot say it enough. And then moving up, we have biltong. That's the other food that I was thinking. So it's baked potato, biltong, kebabs, and ghostly goulashes. Those are the best foods on my server. And then right here, an uncanny combatants etched vessel for 26,500 gold. So that was a huge chunk right there too for the offhand through inscription. And yeah, it's pretty much the same. For the rest of the mailbox, we have another compendium right here for 8k. And yeah, it's just a lot of gold that I'm making through inscription. Pretty much all my gold through inscription is just through the compendiums, and then a good chunk is from the etched vessel, the offhand. But I don't sell any contracts. I don't have any reps on this guy. I have all rank 1 contracts. I don't even have, I don't have the Rust Bolt contract. I don't have the Waveblade contract. I don't have the 2 new ones from patch 8.3 because I don't actually play this character. I just craft on him, so I have no reps. They're all neutral, if not friendly maybe. So yeah, you don't even need any reputations. I mean, obviously, if I had the reputations, I'd be making so much more gold. But you don't need them to make gold, because the trinkets and the offhand you get from PvP, marks of honor for rank 3, and then the compendiums I don't think have ranks at all, so you just make them. They might have ranks, I don't know. I don't even check, to be honest. I just craft them, and they make me thousands and thousands and thousands of gold. So yeah, one day I do want to get my reputations up though. I want to make the 2 new contracts. I bet that if you were the first person on your server to make those 2 new contracts with patch 8.3, you probably made millions through inscription. And obviously I didn't take advantage of that, but eventually I do want to get to that, but I'm just lazy. But yeah, we collected up 223k on this guy. Let's move on. Moving on to my Jewelcrafter. My Jewelcrafter has made 36,000 gold for the week. That's pretty low compared to all the other professions, but I mean, Jewelcrafting is just like the worst profession for me right now, by far. But I did sell some things we can go over. It's mostly just going to be Azurines though, probably. So I'm still selling these for, you can see these ones are selling for about 500 gold each. So I'm just selling them because they're high priced. We got Dark Opals. I think someone reset the price on these, so these were, I think, 200 gold each, which is like a lot more than usual. Usually Dark Opals on my server are like 13 gold. So someone definitely reset the price there, and I took advantage of that. And then more Azurines, 30 for 12.8k gold. I post 30 at a time, so maybe I should post a bit more. It's just that the deposit costs kind of add up. So I'm really scared to post more than 30 at a time of a raw gem. But yeah, that's pretty much the story. This is gonna be a quick character because I sold some raw gems from prospecting. I didn't actually make any gold from jewel crafting, crafting. Okay, so for my last character for this account, which I will be going over after I go over this character's gold for the week, it is my transmog selling character. I did farm something this week. I farmed 1 hour of Stratholme, and that was pretty much it. I'm still just selling everything that I already have stocked up from transmog runs earlier in the month. But let's see, we got a nice 58,000 gold on the transmog character. That's really good for me for Transmog. And I can see there's some really good items here. So the first thing that was a big seller this week was the planned or pattern for the leather chest guard of the sun for 23,000 gold for a single pattern. I was mentioning this, I think 2 videos ago, maybe even 3 videos ago, but I did an hour of Sunwell Plateau trash farming, which means you just kill all the mobs before Malagos, the first boss of Sunwell Plateau. And this is one of the patterns that you can get doing that trash farm. You're mostly after the epic patterns, and this is why, because they all, I'm pretty sure every single epic pattern from Sunwell Plateau is worth at least 1,000 gold, but they can go upwards of a couple 100,000 gold when you get to the more rare epic patterns. But yeah, this is just kind of like an average one, and it sold for 23k. So definitely Sunwell Plateau trash farming is a high recommendation from me. I've been making, I think this is 2 weeks in a row where I've sold a pattern for above 20k when it comes to that farm. So definitely check it out if you haven't done that yet. It's a pretty niche farm, but you are after the patterns. Keep that in mind. Not really a transmog. Now I have 2 aboriginals right here, 2 aboriginal loincloths. I believe both of these, they sold almost for the exact same price, 2 days apart from each other. But these came from Wailing Caverns. I've done maybe 3 hours of Wailing Caverns total in the past month or 2. And Wailing Caverns has been a more consistent earner when it comes to Transmog Sales. So again, another place I would check out. And then we got some Captain's pieces right here. These are from Strat. That hour that I did this week apparently paid off already. Sold a couple items from that. And then Exiled and Exalted. These, I don't remember exactly where these come from, but I think BFD. If I were to guess based off of the name of the item, I'm pretty sure Exalted comes from BFD and Exiled. So if you do know exactly where those come from, let me know, but I'm pretty sure they're from BFD. If not, it's I always tell you guys what I farm when I farm it, and then maybe it's like a month later I sell the item, so I don't really remember where the item comes from anymore. But pretty much my big transmog earners are running Zulfaric, Black Fathom Deeps, Sunwell Plateau, Wailing Caverns, and Razor Friend Crawl. Those are the transmog runs that I've done the most, and that's most likely where I'm getting all my sales from. Again, it's just hard to kind of pinpoint when they sell so slowly. But yeah, 58k on the last character for this account. I will be going over my second account that I have been using for dual boxing, but I am going to be keeping the gold totals separate for at least right now. I did have a poll in the last video asking you guys if you wanted me to include multi-boxing in the series or not, and while the majority of people said yes in the comments and the poll, it won, saying yes, let's do multi-boxing. I am going to, there was enough people saying no, that they didn't want me to multi-box, that I decided to keep them separate, but still show you guys both. So I'm going to go over my gold that I have earned on this account right now, and that'll be like the main goal for this series. And then my second account I will show you right after, and I'll just show you its kind of progress on the second account and just keep it separate. And I think I'm going to go for the Brutosaur on just this one account. And then after I get the Brutosaur, I'll dive, fully into multi-boxing. I'll have the gold. I won't have to worry about saving up 5 mil anymore. I'll be able to spend it all on more accounts and, getting that all set up. So we'll just worry about that stuff after the Brutosaur. It seems like a simple solution, right? Like, if there's that much contention for people to not want me to multi-box, then I'll just, separate them, and it'll all be fine, and everybody will be happy. But let's go over what I have earned this week in terms of crafting. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we ended off last week at 2,066,000 gold. So that is the mark we have to pass to earn a profit. I'm not sure. I know I can just look at it right now, but I want to talk about it for a second. I'm not sure if I'm going to profit because I spent so much on Xanthid that I am worried for the profits this week. We might be in a negative, but let's just see. And we are not. We actually made a profit this week, even though I spent 1.3 million gold on Xanthid that I have not used yet. I pretty much used none of it yet because I just had so much potions and flasks in overstock. But we did profit, what is that? 80,000 gold, pretty much. So it's not a lot, but it's better than not profiting And then we still have all the Xanthid in the bank. It's not like we lost the Xanthid, and if the Xanthid prices rise, I might even just sell it all and flip it all, because I have, what was it, 25,000, and I bought it all around 35 gold each. So if it goes up to 60 gold each, what is that? I can make like 2 mil gold or something like that, with how much Xanthid I purchased. So yeah, so I'm still happy. We collected up I forgot what we started this video at. I think it was about just under 800k. So we collected up about 1.4 mil, a little under 1.4 mil. So yeah, that's quite a bit. This is not the end of the video though. Like I was mentioning, it is going to be a little different. We're gonna go from this character, and then we're gonna go straight into the second account, and I'll show you guys the progress that I have been making through multi-boxing. So here we are on the bank character of my second account. This is the character that I sell every single item that this account gets. That way all the gold is consolidated onto this one character. It makes it easier to track how much gold I actually earn with this account specifically, and it will make it easier for me to show you guys what I sell each week through this account specifically. I'm going to keep them separate, and I'm going to keep track of exactly when I actually make a profit from having purchased this account. It took me 705,000 gold to purchase the WoW tokens I needed to fully purchase a BFA account and get it a 1-month sub. So I want to know when I get 705k and see exactly how long it takes for a a dual boxing account to actually pay for itself and start earning profit. So yeah, I have already collected all the mails except for today's mails, so I can show you what I've earned today. But I have been collecting these mails just because I wasn't aware that I was going to be showing you guys this account yet. I hadn't looked at the poll yet, or if you guys wanted me to show you multi-boxing or not. And so that means I only have mails to show you guys from about the past day or so. But I can still show you guys the gold that I have earned from the mails that I can't show you guys because it's just in my bags right now. And so I can show you guys, and I can also show you guys TSM and show you that it has only been from the past week. I mean, this account has only existed for a week, so it can't be from prior than then. But I can show you that it was earned through the AH is what I mean. Just in case anyone is like super conspiracy. But yeah, I can show you guys the gold that I have earned without opening the mailbox first. And that has been 197,000 gold. This is for the past about week of gathering. It's about the same that I earned on my druid that I already showed you guys, because I'm pretty much just mirroring I take my second account with my main druid, so they pretty much just gather all the same stuff and they sell all the same stuff. So yeah, it should be about the same every week of what my main druid gathers and then what this account earns. But if we take a look at TSM here, as you can see, it is March. There's no gold earned before March, and the first week or the first couple days, because it's been like a week and 2 days, I guess. But the first couple days I earned 58k in sales, and then this past week I earned 175k. Ooh, that's a little spoilery. That means we actually know how much is going to be in the mailbox without actually opening the mailbox, because we can add these two together. And obviously it's not 197k. What is that? Let's see. So that's, I don't know, 50k in the mailbox maybe. But either way, you can see the top earner has been Volatile Water for me. That's what sold the best. But it's just, gathering. It's all gonna be materials on this account pretty much forever, because it has a dual gatherer on it, and that's the only boost that I had. So that's all I have really right now. It's just 120 druid. But let's see what I have earned basically for the past day. So I guess it's been 3 days since I checked my mailbox, because it says 27 days, but I just haven't checked my mailbox. So it was actually 66k that I have earned. It wasn't 50k, I guessed wrong. But either way, we can go through. This is just basically the last time I checked my mailbox. These are all the sales from between now and then. So the things that I can show you is Whiptail was selling. Once again, it's just going to be kind of the same stuff that's on my main druid that I showed you at the very beginning of the video. But yeah, people wanted to see what I'm selling. It's going to be all the same. So we got Whiptail again. We got Fell Iron Ore again. We got Obsidian Ore again. Xanthid. I sold a bunch of Xanthid with this account. I sold 536 for 21k. That's a nice chunk right there. That's about an hour's worth, I guess. So Xanthid right now on my server is about 21, 22k an hour. It's not the best. but it does sell the fastest. So when it comes to multi-boxing, Xanathid is usually what people go for. But I have found that with only 2 accounts, it's best to do older world materials like Heart Blossom right here, 326 for 14k, and then over here Whiptail, 707 for 14k. You not only get this is an hour's worth of Whiptail, but you also get the Volatile Life, which is another about 20k on top of the 14k here. So it's about 35k an hour for Whiptail, but then only 22k for Xanathid. So when you only have 2 accounts, really you can still do the more higher gold per hour but slower selling materials because you're only doubling what you gather. But if you had 5 accounts, you definitely want to go for Xanathid because that's the only material that you'll be able to sell 5 times the amount of, because that's really, like, you won't be able to sell that much Whiptail. You will never be able to sell that much Whiptail if you gather on all 5 accounts and sell it all in the same AH. Like, you'll just flood the AH. But you can do that with Xanathid. So that's just what I've figured out so far. Through dual boxing specifically, Xanathid is not really worth it. Stick with the higher gold per hour, slower selling things. But yeah, so that's just another 66k. Let's see exactly how much I have earned in total then for the past about week and 2 days that I've had this account. And it totals up to 263, nearly 264k. So I'm not halfway there, but I'm already a third of the way to paying for this account with this own accounts like work, you know? And it's only been a week and 2 days, so it seems like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you're already paying for the gold that you spent on the WoW tokens to buy an extra account. So if that's the case, I mean, multi-boxing, just get as many accounts as you can, because that's super. And then the more accounts you get, the faster it gets. So maybe once you have 3 accounts, it only takes a week to pay off that 1 account. So yeah, if you are interested in multi-boxing, definitely do it. It is 100% worth it. It pays for itself very quickly, as you can see. And I don't spend the most time gathering. I could spend more time gathering and then get it even faster. So yeah, if we add up this with my main account, so we have 263k plus 2.1 million, 2,140,000. That equals what? 2,300,000. So I'm at, or no, not 203, 2.4 mil. There we go. So 2.4 mil if we add up the 2 accounts. So still negative when it comes to this week versus last week, because we had 2.5 million gold and now we have 2.4 million gold. So we're still at a negative 100k, but next week we will actually be in the positive, and everything past that is going to be pure profit through dual boxing and, you know, anything else we do. So once I get the 705k back using this account, I will be sending over that 705k back to my main account, because like I mentioned at the beginning of either this video or the last video, I forget which one it was, but I did just use the gold that I earned through this challenge. So that gold was meant for the Brutosaur, but I just used it to get an extra account. So if I can just get the 705k back, I will only send back that 705k and nothing past that. That way it's like nothing ever happened. I never bought this account, and it never had anything to do with the Brutosaur challenge, but I will still have this account, and I'll still be able to show you guys what I earned through dual boxing. And yeah, that just means that we're basically halfway to the Brutosaur again, and then, you know, from now on, we are just going to be inching closer and closer and closer towards the Brutosaur. And yeah, I'm super happy with the way things are going. We profited big this week, and it's been big every single week since 8.3. It's been insane. I've been loving it, and I hope you guys have been too. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, and if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button plus the bell next to it so you can be notified whenever I upload a video. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time.